Imagine living in a world where every single person owns their body and has the right to make decisions about it. How we dress, how we behave, whom we love, when and how we become parents, and every single touch is consensual. Hi, my name is Priyal, and I come from a country called India where same sex marriage is still not recognized, where marital rape is still legal, where every second child is a victim of sexual abuse. We are a population of 1.3 billion, yet only 5.6% of people use condoms, probably the reason why we are such a huge population. We were also named the world's most dangerous country for women, and in India, a rape case is reported every 17 minutes. Out of total pregnancies, about half of the pregnancies are unintended, and the statistics are like way long. Coming from like personal experience, why I started this initiative because I have personally experienced intimate partner violence at the age of 19, being in a relationship for 5 years, and I had no source or no credible source where I could turn to learn about consent or abusive relationships or just to identify red flags in a relationship. And that motivated me to start something for the millennials and Gen Z. So presenting to you Stand We Speak, a 21st century solution to the age-old problem. So we have five core services, and the major service is providing digital content. So in that we have gamified, multilingual, and age-appropriate comprehensive sexuality education in the means of digital modules. So this is one of our core services. Apart from that, we have two other services, which is products and consultancy. So we provide access to menstrual hygiene, sexual wellness products, as well as access to experts such as gynecologists, lawyers, and counselors who provide queer affirmative services. Because in India, LGBTQ community is still looked down upon. Apart from these two, we are also building a chatbot and a podcast to initiate discussions around sexual health and normalizing this topic. We have segregated our market product types. So for digital content, we are targeting schools, parents, and children. For consultancy, we would be mainly focusing on the LGBTQ community. And for products, we are targeting women. Competitive analysis, you must have come across O School and Amaze, which are pretty famous. So O School targets 18 plus audience, and Amaze is mainly for teenagers. So what sets us apart is that we are all service inclusive platform, as well as we promote life skills through gamified learning. So we don't just build content, we make it fun and interactive. So this is our revenue model. Our main source of revenue would be consultancy and products, since monetizing content is something that we are struggling with. I've also spoken to Andrea, the founder of O School. So she is kind of facing a similar problem in this space. This is the impact that we are trying to create. So in terms of women, we want to break the stigma around using these products. Overall, we want to start a conversation around sexual health. That is the first step that we want to build. And to youth, we want to give them appropriate information about everything regarding sexual health. This is our team. I'm the founder and CEO, and we have four other people who are working on it part-time. So we have counselors, we have doctors, and we have marketing head, and one person is working on web development. In terms of mentors, we have tied up with Outspoken Sex Ed, a school of sexuality education. So Yon, Reed, and Amelia are our mentors who guide us in making these content age appropriate and medically accurate. And we recently won FBI Velcro Challenge, which was an innovation challenge in sexual health space. We have been conducting sessions with 3,000 people so far just to understand that the content they are building is suitable for their age group. So we are just trying to start a conversation around sexual health to lead a revolution, because in India, even though we are a country who gave birth to Kama Sutra, but sex ed is still banned in most of the countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Priya, for the presentation. And as I said, like I can relate with it. But again, I will ask the jury members to come and ask their questions and see if they have. Please.
Okay, thank you, Priyal. That was a really great presentation. You managed to cover so many topics in a short space of time. So well done for presenting it so clearly. Maybe you mentioned it, but did you talk about your business model and how you make this financially sustainable platform? Can you quickly summarize that for me again?
Yeah, so for consultancy and for products, we are charging commission on like the products that we have and even the experts. With the curriculum, we are experimenting with it to tie up with schools to see whether parents would be willing to buy it. And we are also trying to approach government because government spends a lot of fund in abortion services and pregnancy related services.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this will be an area that would be very useful for you to focus on researching, because I don't know about specifically in India, but generally education sector and government sector are notoriously difficult to get to part with their budgets. So I'd be interested to know a bit more about your strategy of how you're going to convince them that it's definitely worthwhile, but if it can make them convince them to part with their money.
So we have been speaking to them so far, and I have been talking to experts who are in government agencies. So even though they know that this is required, but when it comes to money, that is something like we struggle with. That is why I said that content, monetizing content is really difficult. Again, like I spoke to some of the founders, again, Andrea also spoke to her and she said that even, porn sites are struggling with monetizing it. So monetizing content in sexual health is really difficult.
Yeah, I think that's going to be your biggest challenge, but it's a really worthwhile cause. So I hope you can find some evangelists who support you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great job presenting. I admire how you put it in a bigger context. I've seen a lot of presentations on the importance of sex ed, but when you added the piece about the lawyer and the psychologist really having an awareness of all the different facets of a person's life that is impacted by not having the education. So I had the same question that Bryony did. So I will go in a different place and say, how are you going about selecting the products that you will be offering for sale? Is it a result of your 3,000 person research? Are you starting with particular categories and then expanding? Talk a little bit more about that. And then I would also say, in your current financial model, do you see products or consultancy as being the lion's share of your revenue streams?
So in terms of products, we are tying up with brands in India. For example, period underwear is something that most of the Indians don't know about. We recently conducted a research to understand what all products do they know of and what all products they are using currently. So out of 500 data that we collected, 500 participants, only around 15 people are using menstrual cups right now, and only 4 to 5 people knew about period underwear. So we are tying up with companies to do affiliate marketing at the moment because we have our organic community for whom we conduct regular sessions. So to begin with, for products, we are doing affiliate marketing in terms of menstrual hygiene products as well as sexual wellness products. And products and consultancy would be our main source of revenue at this moment because these are tangible products that we can offer, tangible products and services. So that is why we are tying up with experts and product manufacturers and companies so that we can also offer them to the community that we have.
And any thought of the breakdown of, will the majority of the revenue come from products or consultancy, or is that not clear yet in the financial model?
So our major revenue would come from consultancy at this moment because products are not ours. We are planning to launch our own line of products, but it's in future, it's in the pipeline. So our core service would be consultancy at this moment.